very warm welcome here on Canal de English, and the program is The Forum. Our guest today is Mr. Wanry Wabang. He is the third Secretary for Information and Social and Cultural Affairs at the Indonesian Embassy in Nigeria. Today, we are going to talk about an extraordinary country. Even though we are going to focus much more on the cultural aspect, we are going to ask him why is he here today, because most of you know mostly the coup d'etats that took place in Indonesia. But what people fail to understand is that this is the largest Muslim country and the sixth largest in the world and part of the G20. It's a dynamic country, and even though it is a predominantly Muslim country, there is an extraordinary coexistence between the Christian communities, the Hindus, and the Muslim ones who are the majority. What is the secret of Indonesia? This and many more will be handled in a while. As I announced at the introduction of this program, our guest today is from Southeast Asia. And it is the first time we are receiving a guest from that part of the world. And his name is Wanry Wabang. As I said, he is a secretary at the Indonesian Embassy in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, based in Abuja, and it covers Cameroon. This is the land of Joko Widodo. Widodo, yes, the current president. It is a democracy since the multiple coup d'etats of Suharto and the rest. And as I said, it's an extraordinary country made up of 13,000 or more islands. And that is what we are going to be talking about. And Mr. Wabang, it's a pleasure to have you here on stage today.
It is a pleasure to be here. First time in Cameroon. Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been really, really wonderful. Okay. Last 4 days in Douala, Cameroon, and been enjoying my time here.
And now the question that most Cameroonians and Africans, because Canal de English is watched all over the world, will be asking, why are you here for?
Well, I'm here as the representative from the Indonesian Embassy in Abuja, accredited to Cameroon as well, because we are having a festival, Ratu International Festival, and who is the brain behind the festival is an Indonesian. So yeah, I'm here representing the embassy, representing the Indonesians as well, to support this festival. Okay.
Do you have a figure of the Indonesians resident in Cameroon?
Unfortunately, not many, not like 1,000 or 2,000. We've got, I believe, around 100 Indonesian nationals in Cameroon, and mostly they work in the timber business. Yeah.
All right. Now tell us, you are based in Abuja. The Embassy of Indonesia in Abuja covers Cameroon, or how many countries does it cover?
We cover 12 countries, including ECOWAS.
Okay.
Yeah.
ECOWAS, for those who do not know, is a sub-regional organization, that's the Economic Community of West African States. So you have 11 countries plus
ECOWAS.
So we can just say 12.
Yes.
Okay. Now, for people who do not know Indonesia, where can it be located geographically on Earth? I said in Asia or in Southeast Asia, but you know it better than I. And those who are watching us may want to really have it from the horse's mouth, as they say.
Well, Indonesia is located geographically in the Southeast Asian region, like you said. If you know Malaysia or Singapore, we're really close neighbors with Malaysia and Singapore and also the Philippines. And we are a dynamic country. We're the fourth largest population country in the world, with 253 million people. And then we've got more than 17,000 islands. That means that we are rich in cultures and arts and creativity, languages, all the cultural products that you can imagine. And pretty much like Cameroon, right? Exactly. I believe so. Yeah.
Yes, Cameroon is quite diverse as well. Cameroon has, I think, 250 tribes and things like that. Quite diverse as well. And the other question I wish to, you are also very close to the Americans, because Barack Obama.
Yes, he used to live in Indonesia, in Jakarta. Okay. He spent some time his childhood in Indonesia as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Now the question that you said, you are coming here because to take part in a kind of cultural festival.
Yes.
Organized by an Indonesian. And what is the cultural festival all about?
Well, it's called Ratu International Festival, music, fashion, and also movies. And I believe there have been many festivals in Cameroon, but this is the first time where a festival combines the three cultural products: fashion, movies, and also music. And then this is a chance where there will be a collaboration from Cameroonian artists and also Indonesian artists.
All right.
Yes.
So you have a number of Indonesian artists who will be staging here in Cameroon.
Yes.
And the lady who organizes, she's an Indonesian.
She's an Indonesian, but her entire team is actually consists of people from Indonesia and also from Cameroon. So it's a collaboration of the two.
A kind of melting pot.
Yes.
And where does she reside? Here in Cameroon or in Indonesia?
She has been living quite in a few countries before, but now she is in Cameroon.
Well, if she were here, I would have asked her. With the question I will ask you, why did she decide to organize that festival here in Cameroon? Yeah,
I think because she stays in Cameroon, and I believe she said a couple of days ago that she fell in love with Cameroon. And she's always the person who wanted to contribute more to the society, contribute to what she has and what she can positively contribute to the region, the country where she resides.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now for Cameroon, do you have a number of Cameroonians coming to Indonesia?
Yes, not many, I would say, but we have some footballers from Cameroon, and then we also, the Indonesian government also provides several trainings and also programs and also scholarships for Cameroonians. So yeah, we're looking forward to receiving more Cameroonians to Indonesia.
Okay, that's a clear message for Cameroonians who wants to go elsewhere other than going to China.
Yes.
They can also go to Indonesia.
Yes.
And now for those who would like to come to Indonesia, not necessarily for tourism, what else can they come to Indonesia and have? Because if you are going somewhere, there must be something, an objective. What will you see? I understand it's the 16th largest economy. So what is attractive in Indonesia? Well,
the business climate is very good, right? If you look at it from the economic point of view, the volume, the total volume of the trade between Cameroon and Indonesia, the number always goes up. Compared in the last 5 years, in 2010, the number only reached $45 million US. But last year, 2014, it reached the number $76 million US.
76 million.
Yes.
From $45 million
to 76.
To 76.
And in Cameroon, we can also see some of the Indonesian products, actually, yeah.
And what do they export to Cameroon?
Vegetable oils, papers, plastics, yeah.
Okay. And if you had to encourage Cameroonians to come, I understand, what are the facilities, where can they go to have the visas, and what are the conditions to have the visas to come?
Yes, since the Indonesian embassy is located in Abuja, so the procedure is that you can send your application. It can be done online as well, but we still need your passports, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so once you have all the requirements and the application, send it to Indonesian Abuja, and then we will have a look at those documents, and if everything's okay, you should be able to visit Indonesia anytime soon. Okay,
if I understand now, you are here because of a cultural festival.
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity to watch or to look at some culture, the Cameroonian culture, which is diverse, and some musicians and authors? Have you had time to familiarize yourself with the cultural aspect of Cameroon?
Well, not really, but during the opening ceremony last night for the festival, we had some Cameroonian musicians playing for us. So I believe that was the first time for me to kind of like hear what the music is like in Cameroon. And I believe that there will be a festival actually happening this week.
Yeah, this week it's a traditional or a cultural festival for the people of the coastal people of Cameroon.
Yeah.
With a generic term called the Sawas.
Yeah, I think some people from your TV actually spoke to me, and I think we're going there on Sunday morning. So I I can't wait to look
Exactly.
to witness that.
And now, when you watched the premiere or the opening ceremony yesterday, what was your impression?
It was good because we've got lots of support from the government. The governor of Little was there. His Excellency Mr. Ivaha Samuel was there as well to officially open the festival and to cut the ribbon.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we also got support from the Embassy of Brazil. Miss Brazil is here for the festival as well, and also Miss Indonesia, and then some Indonesian artists and filmmakers as well are here.
So are you telling me that the Miss Indonesia came all the way from Jakarta to Douala?
Yes.
Oh, that's an honor for the Cameroonians.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Now, tell us something which, you are a diplomat, and you've been observing what is going around the world, in Nigeria, in far north of Cameroon, in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And you've just said the population of Indonesia is 253 million.
Yes.
Which is the largest Muslim country in the world. And I said somewhere that there is a coexistence, peaceful coexistence between the Christians, the Hindus, or the Buddhists, and the majority Muslims.
Right.
Now, what is the secret of Indonesia?
I think it lies it started a long time ago in the process of building the nation. Our founding fathers are really, I think they're really clever and smart in seeing the strength of the nation. Because we have 17,000 islands, that means lots of differences, cultures, languages, right? And then I think our founding fathers they saw that at the time as something that will not divide the country, but something as a strength that will unite the country. So that's why the motto of our country is unity in diversity. And I think it's because it's in our nature. Indonesians are really kind of like understanding of each other. And then, because of that, we know that we can never be handling all the problems if we can always see the differences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then, after saying all those, what we have said, but why is it that Indonesia doesn't perhaps help in sensitizing or exporting that brand of coexistence, peaceful coexistence that you have to other Muslim countries like in the Middle East or in countries like Cameroon or in Nigeria where you are? Because you find the northeast of Nigeria, in the far north of Cameroon, you have these insurgents of the Boko Haram.
Yeah.
So why has Indonesia, a major Muslim country, abscond from her leadership role in the Muslim world?
Well, I believe that at the high level, that always happens. We always give supports to, and we always give swift response to whatever it is. It's not always the cases of insurgency but any attacks, any terrorism cases. It's always like we always in the front row saying that we always condemn those attacks and terrorism cases.
Condemn.
Yes, always. Indonesia condemns that attack. Yeah.
And do you Indonesians understand why, when you look at what is happening in, for example, the Middle East, the fight for some time between the different two branches of Islam, the Shia and the Sunnis? You guys are majority Sunnis, so I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And when you and there are some Shia there, I believe. Okay, now when you look at what is happening elsewhere, what do you say? Are you marveled? Are you just there's nothing you can do?
My personal belief is it's actually a shame that people are now fighting over kind of like religious beliefs instead of trying to make peace and try to see the solution out of all the problems. And of course, Indonesia sees those problems as a shame as well, because in our constitution, it says that we support peacemaking and peace building. So of course, we also have provided several supports as well towards the countries.
Okay,
yeah.
But another thing I would like to ask you, before I will, when I have somebody from Indonesia, it's the first time, and if I don't ask you all the questions, it's as if you have a party without having any champagne.
Right.
I will want to leave that aspect, but I will still ask you those questions because it's a pleasure to have someone like you. But now, when we talk about culture, what can Cameroonians have or benefit from Indonesia?
Well, in terms of culture,
Yes.
right? Culture is one of the, I would say, most outstanding and most exquisite similarity between Cameroon and Indonesia. We have, like, I believe you have around 200 different languages in the country, and we have approximately 400 different languages. And then I would say that in terms of tourism, not many people from Indonesia or not many Cameroonians come to Indonesia for the purpose of tourism. It's only about business. But with this event, we would like to send a message that Cameroons also have lots of potentials, and Indonesia also has lots of potential that which maybe the Cameroonians have no idea about, right? So through this festival, we want to send messages that both countries are rich in cultures, and always they can always be cultural products that can benefit both of the countries, and hopefully that in terms of cultural cooperation, we would be able, Indonesia would be able to provide lots of cultural products to Cameroonians.
Yeah, the question I would like to ask, even though you guys, you are not the organizers, it's an Indonesian lady who's organizing. And what is her name, by the way?
It's called, her name is Ratu Erma.
Ratu Erma. Okay, do you think that the first ever being organized here, there's going to be another one organized, let's say, in Jakarta or any other city?
Yes, we are actually looking at the possibility of doing that because I was talking to, I believe, one of your members.
Yes, there's no problem.
Yeah, one of your staff, and we were discussing about how if we bring Cameroonian culture to Indonesia, let's have an exhibition, probably, the cultural exhibition of Cameroon and Indonesia, and that's always possible. And we're always welcome to have those kind of possibilities.
Okay, but I know to ask you this question is a bit not preposterous, because you've been here, for how many days have you been in Cameroon?
4 days.
4 days.
Yes.
And I will ask it. Now, how long have you been in Nigeria?
7 months.
7 months. All right, yes. Now, can you compare a bit, have you been also conversant with the cultural milieu of Nigeria? And how do you view the cultural environment of Nigeria?
Well, Nigeria is very diverse, pretty much like Cameroon. It has 3 big tribes, and with lots of
sub-tribes.
Yes, I would say sub-tribes.
Yeah, sub-tribes, if we wish to say.
Yes, if you say that.
Yeah.
And also, Nigeria is looking at the possibility of to kind of like enhance the tourism, because they're trying to diversify their economy as well through, and one of the ways is through tourism, because it's been years and they're only focusing on oil. Right, so now they're trying to look at other possibilities in diversifying their economy, and tourism is also one of them. And in Nigeria, they have lots of festivals, religious festival traditions, and they're looking at the possibility of trying to sell that to the world. And I believe that Cameroon might do the same way as well, and that's what we do in Indonesia, because we have marine tourism, historical tourism sites, and also we also like simple like weddings. As simple as weddings, traditions, to more complicated religious kind of like tourism activities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You also seem to have a very exotic cuisine, right?
Yes, and the culinary as well.
And the culinary, yes. Can you tell us a little bit? I know we don't have an example to show. Yes.
We have. I think this is one of the most famous cuisine, I believe, in the world, and it's also one of the I read it in the magazine that it's also one of the best cuisine in the world. It's called beef rendang. It's made of beef with some really exotic spices, and also, of course, we have a lot of cuisines that Here's what I can say is that you have to be there to experience it directly.
To directly,
yes.
to appreciate it.
Yeah, to appreciate and to have a full comprehension understanding about the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are based in Nigeria. You are coming to Cameroon. In Nigeria, their film industry, for example, is called the Nollywood.
Yeah.
In Indonesia, the equivalent is, do you have the name of the industry? The film, the cinematographic industry in Indonesia, does it have a name like we have Bollywood, Nollywood,
until
Hollywood?
Now, we do not have specific term for that. We call it just Indonesian movies. We don't have that, but we're looking forward to kind of like collaborating. We just held in August an ASEAN Film Festival, and we're looking at the possibility in the future to collaborate with Nollywood as well. And who knows, we might collaborate with the. Do you have a specific term for Cameroon?
No, I don't know. There's no
Right.
specific term. That was what I thought is the reason why I just wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Can the Cameroonians, since you are here for a festival, benefit from the cinematographic experience of your country? Is there a possibility that you can come and give a kind of helping hand to the burgeoning cinema industry or cultural industry of Cameroon?
It is always possible to do. Now I have an idea of doing that. It's my job to do those kind of activities, so thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when we talk of culture, we don't just simply talk about music, we talk about literature as well.
Right.
How buoyant is the literary scenery or atmosphere of Indonesia is? Do you have a lot of authors?
Yes, we have, of course, we have a lot of authors and books, poems, all the cultural products that you can imagine. Yes, we have it all. You name it, we have it.
You have it.
Yeah.
And who is the most popular author in your country?
Popular author in the country. Well, I'm not a really big.
There's no problem.
I'm not a really big.
Let me ask you a different question, because most of when we talk about Indonesia, we always talk of Jakarta. Which are the other main cities
Right.
in the country?
We have Bandung, known for food, cuisines. And Bandung.
And that's where the non-aligned movement first took place?
Yes, that's the first ASEAN African conference back in 1995.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And also, I think the non-aligned movement in organized by Suharto, my president.
Yeah, 1960s.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you have Bandung, which is the city?
We have Bandung, Surabaya, Yogyakarta. Yogyakarta is very, very cultural, I would say, because you would see the most traditional and also the most modern architecture and buildings. But you can see some of the old buildings during the colonialism era. So it's pretty interesting. Yeah.
And if I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, Indonesia was partly colonized by Netherlands.
Yes, we were colonized by Netherlands for 350 years.
And what's the official language of Indonesia?
Indonesia. Bahasa Indonesia.
Bahasa Indonesia.
Yes.
And you don't speak any Netherlands languages, not?
In where I'm from, I'm originally from Timor, and we observed some of the Dutch.
You are from Timor?
Yes.
Is it the East Timor that you lost?
West Timor.
West Timor.
Yeah.
Exactly.
West Timor.
And I want to ask you there, I will not round off this question without asking this political question, and I'm forced to ask, and you also, you're going to answer.
Hopefully I can answer those.
There is a problem about a gross human rights violation in West Papua.
West Papua.
West Papua, right?
Papua.
Papua.
Yes.
Great. But why do you keep violating the rights of people of West Papua?
Why do Indonesian government keep violating the rights of?
Yes, exactly.
I'm not sure if I understand the questions, because
should I put it simply?
we've been providing Papua with special autonomy, and we've been giving Papua all of the facilities that Papua need to develop.
Do you, in the cultural presentation that you are going to have here, do you have anything from West Papua here? Have you brought any culture from West Papua as part of Indonesia? Have you brought it to? I know you're not the organizer. You are a diplomat. It's not yours. But as a representative of the country, have you made sure that Madam, what is her name? Ratu represents Indonesia entirely here in Cameroon?
I wouldn't say you can.
I know you are maybe perhaps uncomfortable about that, but I have to ask such a question.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't. I think it's not. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be right to say that one festival can kind of like represent the whole Indonesia, because Indonesia is very diverse.
Yes,
right?
it's true.
Yeah,
it's more than 17,000 islands.
17,000 islands, and probably she only brought a specific culture from Java, for example, and what about the other islands? We can always see a possibility of contributing more.
Yes, I know when we have somebody speaking culture, he's already uncomfortable with political issues. I understand.
Yeah.
But I'm forced to ask this last one before we round off. Are you afraid to lose West Papua as you've lost East Timor?
Wow. Okay, that's a big question. I would say Papua is still in Indonesia, and that's not going to change.
It's not going to happen.
No.
Now, okay, to round off the program, what message do you have for Cameroonians who would like to come, the cultural domain, and even businessmen who want to come to Indonesia?
Well, invest in Indonesia, go to Indonesia, see for yourself and experience the Indonesian lifestyle, the Indonesian culture, the Indonesian creativity, and hopefully in the near future that lots of Indonesians will also be able to come to Cameroon, experience the Cameroonian arts, culture, and creativity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wabang. I want to remind our televiewers that you are from the Indonesian Embassy base in the Federal Republic of Nigeria in the capital, Abuja, and you are the third secretary for Information on Social and Cultural Affairs. I understand when they ask you for culture, you ask about politics, you were a little bit uncomfortable, but never mind. You know, in Cameroon, we are free. It's a
Sure.
democracy where the press is free. We ask all questions. So it was a pleasure to have you here today. And to our televiewers, this is a weekend. We hope that God willing will be around on Monday for another edition. And it was once again a great pleasure to have somebody from Southeast Asia and precisely from Indonesia. Please do not go away. In a while, we'll be having the Pidgin News program or news by Ndeko. Until then, have a nice weekend and see you on Monday, God willing.